Hi everyone, how are you doing? Well, I was thinking, how I love making my sandy sweets. Right here, I don't know what this is, but I thought it was my finger in all the videos when I was watching. It is my finger, never mind. Anyhow, how I have all these sandy sweets planned and cook with me's or whatever you call them, and I just don't seem to get to them. Hold on, I gotta have some water. Anyhow, so I started thinking, why don't I just explain some of the recipes to you? Because I just really cannot stand this heat problem I have is just getting worse and worse and worse. I really don't know what's going to happen, but I literally can't do a thing. Standing up is next to impossible, so I'll just tell you, I don't know, some recipes are complicated. I'll try to think of some easy ones. Now, you might already know this recipe. I've been using this for, oh my gosh, I think before Polly was born. It's to make ice cream. Totally forgot about it until I saw a few different ones on YouTube. So I don't know if you ever made ice cream, and I don't know. I saw on Amazon they have like a machine. There's my finger again. Sorry, it's my thumb actually. Where they have on Amazon, and I was reading it. You put ice in it and you turn it, or I don't really know. Growing up, we didn't make ice cream. I'm surprised. We did everything else homemade. But anyhow, so I never got, for some reason I think in my first marriage I did have an ice cream machine. Not that kind, different kind. I don't know. But I remember I used to babysit for this family. She was a nurse. I don't remember what he did. And I would come home. I told the story about it. I came home from school. It was Freshman Friday. And I had to take the city bus home. And I was dreading it because we took the city bus, and I don't know if you had Freshman Friday in your days, or if it was just a Catholic school thing, but anyhow, I went to their house right after school in my uniform and took my clothes and changed there. So this woman had a really cute husband. So how old could I have been? 13, 14, I don't remember, whatever you are when you're a freshman. So of course, I got it. Shaving cream everywhere, all over me, in my hair, on my clothes, everywhere. It was terrible. So I had to go to their house, and usually she was there, but this day he happened to be there. So then usually he fills me in on, like, dinner. Like, sometimes she'll leave something started, like a casserole, and I'd put it in, or I'd have to make something or whatever. But anyhow, I'd have to stand there, talk to this guy, when you're a teenager crushing on a good-looking guy who's, I don't know how old he was, probably 20 years older than me. But for some reason, I seem to be attracted to older men. I don't know what my problem is. I think I should go the other route. But anyhow, so I thought, oh, this is going to be horrible. And I wasn't a teenager, and even now, I don't get embarrassed. I don't really care what people think. But, boy, I didn't want to go there. But the thing is, to get to my house, I had to pass their house. And usually, he was outside. They had two boys, and the one boy was a preemie. I don't remember how long he was in the NICU or why he was there or whatever. But anyhow, he would always be outside, usually on the porch with the kids. She didn't. She was very, very overprotective of that second baby, the preemie. So there was no way I could sneak by his house, go to my house, quick, get cleaned up so I could go over. So that was that. Went in. First thing he said, oh, Freshman Friday. And I'm like, yep. And he says, well, why don't you go in? You can take a shower. I'll wait a little. It was terrible. It was in my hair. It was everywhere. Oh, my God. It was awful. So, anyhow, I quick, got everything done, whatever. And then I got over it, whatever, The guy was married anyhow. But, back to the story. So she used to make homemade peach ice cream. I don't remember how she made it, but I think she had one of those machines with the ice around it, and you put something in the middle, and you churn it, churn and turn, I guess are intermixable words, but anyhow. And she made the best peach ice cream. So, like I said, I think it was before Polly was born, or after he got off all his machines, so he was a little over 2 years old. I don't know when I started making this. So anyhow, there's always a pre-story, sometimes a post-story, whatever. My gosh. I am so dehydrated, but I drink so much water. I don't know what my problem is. Hold on a second. Maybe that's the answer to my problem. Who knows, but nobody wants to care. These doctors, I don't know. Anyhow, so I'm going to tell you a simple recipe to make ice cream. Like I said, you might already know it. So this way you could write it down as I talk. It's very simple. You just need 1, 2, 3 ingredients. Maybe even 2. You could do 4. You could do 5. But I'll give you the base. So what you do is, I'll tell you the ingredients. So you need heavy whipping cream. So this is the cream that it says heavy. Well, I think ours says heavy cream. It might say heavy whipping cream, but ours says heavy cream. So it can say heavy cream or heavy whipping cream, but it's got to say heavy because it's got to have the fat in it. So that will be cold, obviously. Oh, there's my finger again, sorry. And then sweetened condensed milk. So it's not the evaporated milk, it's a sweetened condensed milk. And vanilla. Vanilla is optional. And some people put some salt in there. And you know what salt really does? When recipes, I always thought, why do sweet recipes call for salt? Besides, if you need it for the flour, if you don't have a certain type of flour, you add things to it. Or, you know, if you're, I don't know, when you're baking like breads or whatever, it doesn't really surprise me when you put some salt in. But like sweet stuff like making ice cream, why would you put salt? Well, salt is an enhancer, a flavor enhancer. I don't put salt in mine, some people do. So anyhow, you put the can of sweetened condensed milk in the fridge the night before, only one night before. So what you do is you take, first of all, you take the heavy cream or heavy whipping cream, but it's got to say heavy in there. It's got to have a lot of, if you have different heavy creams, look which has more fat in it. Take 2 cups of that and you put it in a bowl, and you can either go from the Stone Age and use a whisk and a lot of elbow grease and whip it that way. I would not suggest doing that because it'll take forever. Or you can use a mixer, or if you have one of those KitchenAid or Bosch. Ooh, Bosch is the Corvette of all appliances, I would say. But I only know that because I saw someone on YouTube have a Bosch. But anyhow, so you put the 2 cups of cold, obviously whipping cream is in the fridge. Put that in the mixing bowl, and you're gonna mix it. And you're gonna mix it to soft peaks, not hard peaks, because do you know with heavy cream you can make butter. You can also make buttermilk, fun fact. So if you're whipping, I'll just go off a tangent or I'll forget it. So if you have heavy cream and you whip it till it goes into butter, because we have a tradition on Thanksgiving, the youngest kid makes butter, but our butter is more like whipped fluffy than butter. But anyhow, if you whip whipping cream to the point of it being butter, the stuff that's left at the end and you squeeze out of the hard stuff, that's buttermilk. I don't know if you knew that or not. But anyhow, so you take this, you don't want that for this recipe, so erase what I just told you. I was just telling you a fun fact, or a hack. So anyhow, you just whip it till you get soft peaks. Soft peaks are, if you take the, I don't know if you have whisk or the other kind on your mixer, so you take, and you can see like indentations from the beater. The beaters are the things that are hooked into the mixer. But it's soft, because you can't have it hard. If it's too hard, it's not going to work. Okay, so you have soft peaks. I know, if I was doing this, you could see it better, but I'm sure you all understand what I'm saying. Then you add the sweetened condensed milk, which was put with the whole can in the fridge overnight, because it works out better when it's cold. But I don't know, I've done it without it being cold. I don't always remember to do that, so that's just extra if you want to be extra. So you put that whole can in and, you know, use a spatula, get every bit of that goodness. That is so good stuff. Of course, this is all not good for you if you got high cholesterol or, you know, problems like that. But neither is ice cream. So anyhow, you put that in there, and then if you want to add vanilla, I usually don't add vanilla, but if you want to add vanilla, you can put 2 teaspoons, 1 teaspoon, whatever you want, or none at all. And then some people put some salt in. I don't put salt in there. I like it. I just usually make it with a heavy cream and the sweetened condensed milk. So then now you're going to whip it or whisk it with your hand. By this point, your arm is ready to fall off anyhow. But if you want to do it or you don't have a mixer, go ahead. So now you're going to put it to the hard peak form. And pretty hard, but not that hard. Again, we don't want to make butter. So you make it to hard, stiff peaks. So in other words, I guess if you tip the bowl over, it wouldn't fall out, maybe. Don't tip the bowl over, but you know what I mean. Okay, so once you got that, what you're also going to do in advance, you're going to take a container. I used to use a plastic container, but also with a lid. You need a lid on it or something to cover it. You can also use like a loaf pan is really good. So another extra, if you want to be extra, you put the loaf pan, you put some saran wrap both ways, going one way and the other, like long way and the short way. So you cut a piece of saran wrap and make sure there's enough lip over the sides because you're going to cover it with saran wrap after you put it in. So you saran wrap your pan inside with enough on top or left over to go on top. Put it in the fridge for a few hours at a time. So bottom line theme of this whole recipe is the colder the better. But again, I've done it with just a plastic container with a lid. Haven't put the sweetened condensed milk in the fridge. It's a very forgiving recipe, but if you want to do that extra. So now you whipped it to a stiff peak. You're going to pour it into either your container with plastic container with a lid or into the cold loaf pan or any kind of using in a metal loaf pan. Using metal is the reason why it's easier because you can put it in the fridge and it gets colder quicker than if you put like a plastic thing in. So you pour it in there and it'll fit in a loaf pan. And then you cover it up really good with the saran wrap that you put in. I hope you can picture what I'm saying. So you cut the size of the saran wrap to fit into the pan one way, right? And then you have it hanging over because you're going to cover the top of that. And then you have it going the other direction. You put that in there and you're going to fold some more of that. You really want to seal it good because you don't want ice crystals, aka freezer burn. So you do all that, you put it in the freezer overnight, and then the next day you're going to have delicious ice cream. It is so good. I wouldn't keep it in the freezer more than 2 weeks, but I don't know. My house, it doesn't really last a few days. It's really good. It's delicious. And when I used to make it, we made it so much. You know, I think I started making shortly after Polly was born because I think it's been 10 years since I've had high cholesterol, so I really haven't made it, maybe once or twice, I don't know, because it's really not good if you have high cholesterol, but it's a nice treat. And if there is an ice cream in the store, or it costs $10, which it's almost costing these days, I think this is a little cheaper. I don't know, I haven't figured that out, but if you like ice cream, it's all worth it. So let me know if you've known about this recipe, if you've tried it. You can also put pieces of peaches in there, pieces of strawberry. You can go wild with it. You can probably look it up online, put in the ingredients, and they probably got flavors. I usually put mine vanilla, or I haven't made it since I'm not able to eat solids. I would usually put pieces of peaches in. So, I don't know if I really, if I mushed it like, you know, in a blender, if it would change the consistency, would it freeze? I guess if I ever am not burning this much, I could try it as an experiment and show you guys, but we'll see. No promises made. So anyhow, if you want to make yourself some homemade ice cream, and if you're a coffee drinker, you might have heavy cream at home. Most people do have sweetened condensed milk. Of course, we live in different times, so who knows. You can also use vanilla bean. I've never used it, but if you see it in the store, they have vanilla bean ice cream. They use, you cut open the vanilla bean and put in the little seeds. I personally wouldn't want that. I can't have pieces of anything. But if you haven't tried it, try it and tell me what you think, if you like it. And like I say, is that my thumb again? I'm sorry. Like I say, you could put pieces of strawberry, little, very little cut up. It could be even frozen strawberry, just, you know, let it defrost, and then like put it on a paper towel so it's not wet, and cut it into little pieces. You could probably put, I don't know, probably a piece of chocolate chip in there. But anyhow, it's really delicious just the way it is. Like I said, I made it just with heavy cream and sweetened condensed milk, and that's it, and it was really good. So let me know if you've heard of it before, tried it before. If you're going to try it, like I say, it's really easy. And kudos to you if you just use your whisk and elbow grease, because not me not doing that. So it sounds so good. I wish I could make it. I actually have heavy cream, and I have the other stuff that I need for it. So if I ever have enough energy to do it to show you, or maybe I'll make it and then I'll show you what it looks like. But it's really good. And then of course you can just cover it up with chocolate syrup and some, you can make you know, either the Reddi-wip, or you could take the heavy cream and just whip that up and put it on top, or a cherry on top. I do not like maraschino cherries, but if you do, go for it. Sprinkles, strawberry syrup, caramel, pineapple topping, marshmallow, you name it. The sky's the limit. But anyhow, it's really good ice cream, so try it if you haven't. You don't need a machine. It's really easy, and sorry about not being able to show you, but I thought I could at least share this with you. Hope you're all doing well. Our area is not. We're having a lot of cases. It's, I don't even know these mandates anymore. I guess, I don't know. Oh, they did lift it. But then they said it's still been on. I don't know. Anyhow, I always wear my mask. I don't really leave the house. My car doesn't work, so I can't leave the house. But the few times I had to go to the lab, I wear the mask. But anyhow, people are supposed to, it's a mandate. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows anymore. But whatever, people are supposed to be wearing masks or not. It's spreading. It's wildfire here, so whatever. We just stay in the house. But anyhow, so how's it in your area? How's the weather? Our weather's been really wild. You know, this time of year, usually you have, well, if you have a car that works, you have flip-flops in the car, you have a blanket, you have sunglasses, you have a sun visor, you have a heavy blanket, because basically you can have all 4 seasons in one day. But I wouldn't know because I can't drive my car. But anyhow, I can stay home and try to make this ice cream. I need a way to sit down and make it, because boy, it sounds really good. Today I wanted chocolate so bad. I had no chocolate anywhere. Oh my gosh, I looked all through the house and there was no chocolate, which started thinking me about this ice cream. So anyhow, a long outro. Don't forget to like my videos. It really helps to spread my videos around. Put a comment down. I haven't heard from a lot of people, and I worry when I don't hear from you. Let me know how you're doing, how your weather is. Be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. Be kind to yourself. Most importantly, stay safe and continue to pray for, I was going to say the people over the seabed, for all of us, because things are looking pretty bad. I don't know. Let's not talk about the bad. Let's concentrate on this good. And I'll share something next time with also sweetened condensed milk. And if you know any other things with sweetened condensed milk, something I remember from childhood, but I'll put in another video. So for now, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to comment, and bye for now.